Hi there, Mr. Zilke here. Welcome back. I have another tutorial video for you for using Google Drawing app. So last time we made something nice to color in to maybe relax the mind and to just look nice, really, to get kids a little more comfortable with some geometry and to just relieve any math anxiety or other anxiety that they might have. So we made a dodecagon and we connected each vertex. All of the vertices are connected by a line, which we made with our line tool. And I've also made some more shapes. I made a decagon, which has 10 sides. I made a heptagon, which has 7 sides, and it's a little slow on the load. 7-sided. And I made an octagon, which of course we're all familiar with. We've all seen stop signs. We have our 8-sided octagon. Now you could do a couple things with these that I thought of. You could look for lines of symmetry. That could be a fun one. You could even extend that a little further, and you could have a discussion about why symmetry is beautiful. Does it look nice when we have something that's symmetrical? Let's compare it to something that is not symmetrical or less symmetrical. So the heptagon has less lines of symmetry because it has an odd number of vertices. So we can say, is this less beautiful than our octagon? Than our decagon, our dodecagon? And you can maybe have a nice, interesting discussion relating art and beauty to mathematics. Now, what I'd like to do right now is I would like to label these shapes with some text, because if my kids are coloring these in, I want them to know what the name of the shape is. So I'm going to use my text box tool. I'm going to select that. Then I'm going to click and drag to make a text box. And in my text box, I am going to write octagon. Octagon. Now, I like when things are centered, so I'm going to my align tool here. I'm going to center it from left to right. I'm also going to center it from top to bottom. It says middle here. So let's put it in the center, middle. Now that looks a little bit small. So I'm going to click on this again. I'm going to double click on it. I'm going to make it a bit bigger. It's 14 now. Let's try 24. That looks a bit nicer. I could also change the font to Roboto, Nunito. I could choose any number of fonts. I could also, if I don't see a font here that I like, I could click on more fonts. But I'm a big fan of Roboto. I just like robots, and it reminds me of robots. So I want to center this here. And we have our label octagon. Now, if I want to label my other ones, heptagon, decagon, dodecagon as well, I don't want to have to do all that I just did, changing the font size, changing the font, aligning it to center middle. So what I'm actually going to do is I have this shape selected. I'm going to press Command C or Control C if I'm using Windows. Then I'm going to go into my other window with the heptagon, and I'm going to press Command V or Control V if I'm using Windows. Now, I don't want to misinform my students, so I'm going to have to change this from octagon to heptagon. I'm saving some time because I don't have to go through that whole process again. So I'm going to go into my decagon. I'm going to press Command V, Control V if I were using Windows. I'm going to change this to decagon. Go into my dodecagon. I think the children might have fun pronouncing that one. I know I certainly do. And I'm going to change this octagon to dodecagon. All right. Looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. sometimes I have to deselect that. I click off just to see what it looks like without having that blue box, which wouldn't show up if you were printing it out. Heptagon, octagon, decagon. That looks fine for now. I might noodle around and change it later, but I'm pretty pleased with that now. Now my students will have an idea of how to spell and how to say the shape, the overall shape that they're coloring in. All right, that's all for today. Thank you for watching. Take care.